Brightest blessings, everyone. I know, I am not dead. Busy as hell, but not dead. Um, I wanted to address a certain situation. I have been on the internet every day, but this has actually come to my attention, and it's the same shit over and over again. Christians wonder why we have such problems, or why people like me have such problems with trying to lump everyone into Christianity. And this is why. Sometime last week, through the Associated Press, I got this news through Yahoo. I'm actually going to be reading something here. There's a thing called the Mohave Cross, and it's in the I can't say anything. It's in the Mohave National Preserve. Now, basically, this cross was erected as a war memorial. Okay, it was. Someone assumes it was erected as a war memorial to honor all the dead, all the war dead. I believe it was for World War I. Yes, soldiers killed in World War I. Okay. Apparently people are making a big stink about this. Because, well, some people don't understand why. I think that I do. Yes, it's great that they put a war memorial to all the U.S. soldiers that were killed in World War I, or that also represent all the U.S. soldiers killed in any war. The problem is that it's a simple cross. Now, this has come to the attention of the Supreme Court, and I'm glad that it's there, since everybody's sitting there going, gee, I don't understand why there's a big problem. But in a way, I'm kind of sad that it had to get that high. You know, Justice Scalia himself says that he was having difficulty understanding how some people might feel excluded by a cross that was put up as a memorial to soldiers killed in World War I. He says that the cross, he says of the cross that veterans of foreign wars built 75 years ago atop an outcropping in the Mohave National Preserve. What would you expect them to erect? Some conglomerate of a cross and a Star of David and, you know, a Muslim half moon and star? Well, not exactly, but I think that would be a lot more appropriate than just a cross. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Let me give you some sort of education, Justice Scalia, and everybody else who's going, gee, I don't understand what the problem is. The reason why is because not everyone that is in the United States is a Christian or uses the cross as a holy symbol. Not everyone finds that cross as a holy symbol. Not everyone that fought in that war, more importantly, was a Christian and has the cross as a holy symbol. There were Muslims that fought in that war on the side of the United States and died for this country. There were Jews who fought in that war on our side, who died for this country in the United States military. There were pagans that fought in the United States Army and Marines and Navy and Air Force that died serving this country, fighting for your rights. And you're going to put a cross to represent all of those people? That is not what they find holy. It is not. And if you fought for this country, Justice Scalia, or anybody else who doesn't think that this is a big fucking idea, I mean, who doesn't think this is a big fucking problem, if you fought for this country and paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country by giving your life up for this country, don't you think that you should at least, if you're gonna be honored, at least be honored with your own religious symbol, or at least your own religious symbol, or a symbol that you find holy, either there in its in completion, or as part of a symbol with multi symbols. A gigantic symbol that includes your symbol and other people's symbols that fought and paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country. Or would you think it's just okay just to have a cross slapped on there willy-nilly? You're important enough to actually have a memorial built to you, but nobody really gives a shit, what you held dear in this life. So, yeah. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just coming off as the Grinch who stole Christmas. Maybe I'm just coming off the bitch who has, as the bitch who has to, make waves. I am one of those people that don't like to have religious symbols in our government buildings. I don't believe that we should have the Ten Commandments in the building. Not because of what they represent. I think that they are a good start. I understand where they would fit in. However, not everyone holds that dear. Everyone has some sort of version of their Ten Commandments. And the way I see it, if that's going to be in a government building, then all things from different religions that follow along the same suit should also be there. I don't mind if you have a nativity scene in the courthouse or anywhere that's a federal or government building. But if you're going to do so, then you need to be able to represent all that this government and these facilities serve. You shouldn't have to have just a nativity scene. Everybody's going, oh, it's what's the big deal? It's tradition. Yeah, your tradition. What about ours? Not everyone believes in God. Not everyone believes in Jesus. Not everyone is a Christian. Not everyone has a religion. Some people are atheists or agnostics. We have the pagans, we have the Jews, we have the Muslims. We have so many more than just Christians. And every single time a Christian goes, oh, well, I just don't understand why you're rocking the boat. Well, how would you like it if you were forced to be slapped underneath that symbol of the half moon and star, or of the Star of David, or the Pentagram? And then someone say, shut up and take it. Most people are of this faith, not yours. It kind of grinds on your gears after a while. And you know what? You shouldn't have to take it. That's my point. I believe, it's hard that I have to say, oh, I don't want any Christmas decorations up on any federal land, because I believe in celebration and decoration, and nobody parties like a pagan. But when you're going to insist that it's Christian only, I say you have to include everyone or no one. Blessed be.